Welcome back. You're listening to Whissel Wednesdays here on KCBQ 1170. The Answer. My name is Kyle Whissel, your host with Whissel Realty, joined by Miss Sarah Rotter with Allegiance Heating and Air. Before the break, we were talking with Brian Kochi, learning what you need to do to get your house ready to go on the market. If you have questions, you want to connect with us, you can always text us or give us a call, 619-663-SELL, 619-663-7355. So, Mr. Co-host, Mr. Carson Chargers, Mr. Jason Hall, what's going on in the mortgage market? I'm looking at a headline right now that says mortgage rates back into high threes.
Yeah.
Is that really true?
Yeah, it's true. So here's what happened since last week. So last week, the Fed announced that they're not going to raise rates. A lot of people thought they would, and they've been saying this for the last 5 years because it's been since, I think it was 2004. I mean, it's literally been like 11 plus years since they've risen rates. They've only lowered them down to zero. And so everybody assumed they had to raise. And when they came out last week and didn't raise the short-term Fed funds rate a quarter, it really allowed people to go, wow, things aren't that great. The Fed maybe is not going to raise as quick as people have been thinking even this year. And again, rates have dropped back down into threes. So it's a great time right now to refinance if you have any of your rates in the four, if you're on any adjustables, if you're looking to purchase a home. You know, people are very often able to qualify for more, or maybe you're just more comfortable with the payment because now maybe it's $100, $200 cheaper. So it's a great time to reach out and look at that mortgage. And it's something we, as you know, Kyle, we've been doing for 20 years, but I'm excited. Fourth quarter, I think rates are going to remain low. And reading some stuff today, they're really concerned about China. China there's some slowest manufacturing data that came out since 2009 for them. So they drive a lot of the whole world's economy since they're the largest population. And I think we're going to see rates remain in this 3 to 4.5% range for probably another year. And it'll bounce here and there as people think things are great or when they think things are bad. But for you and I, Kyle, this is a great time.
Where were rates at when you got back in the business 20 years ago? So
I remember doing rates at 13, 14% fixed. I remember when rates went to 9 7/8, we had an office party. All right, 9 7/8. James is in studio here with us. He's the newest member here to Team Home Loans. And he's been, in the mortgage business a little bit over a year now. And he's never probably seen rates at 5%. And, there's a lot of people in his generation that I think won't accept rates in the 5%. And this is why I think we're going to see rates remain relatively low. So I really think it's going to be a while, and the economy is really going to have to get going before we start to see the rates raise little by little, because I've even told 80-year-old ladies, hey, the rate's 5% when they popped up, say, a year or two ago, and they were screaming at me. And I'm like, if you're upset that you might be in a 5% mortgage, can you imagine, James and Brian,
They're
being the younger
millennials,
ones.
Jason.
Millennials, can you imagine them? So let me get James' take on rates.
Well, you're absolutely correct when it comes to myself not seeing a 13% rate out in the market. I'd jump on that one pretty quickly, to be completely honest with you. But yeah, absolutely. I think people my age and younger are not going to accept those higher interest rates just given what they've seen in the current market.
You're spoiled.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of how we grew up. But hey, they're going to go up at some point here. Definitely the right time to take advantage now. And I'm happy to be the newest member of Team Home Loans here. Help you out with either saving money or getting you into that new home. So very excited.
So Jason, the Fed talks about raising rates, but I know that there's, some misperception between people thinking that when the Fed raises rates or lowers rates, that directly changes interest rates with mortgages. So can you talk about how the two are related?
Yeah, we talked about this last week on the American Dream TV show, Brian and I. A lot of people think when you raise rates that automatically, when the Fed raises rates, that it's going to go up the exact same amount. For example, had the Fed raised last Thursday 0.25%, let's say rates were 4%. A lot of people, general people think, oh, that means mortgage rates will be 4.25%. And the answer is no, most likely it won't be. What I've seen is I've actually seen the Fed raise rates and mortgage rates go down in my career. And I've seen just the opposite where they lowered rates and rates went up. How can that happen? People ask. It's all the future market is how the mortgage market is set. And it's because it's a long-term mortgage. We're talking 10 to 30 years. And so it's how the long-term rates are looking at that. And most people just think it's short-term, right? We all think about what's going on today, what's going on tomorrow. It's hard to project out 10, 30 years, but that's what the mortgage market and the bond market is betting on the future. So what they're looking at is what the Fed did today or didn't do today. How's that going to impact the next 10, 30 years? And where should I be betting rates are going to be in the future? So that's where they come up with what's coined as the future markets. And so by them not raising rates, a lot of people thought they would. Now they're thinking, wow, something else must be going on. They must be concerned about other things. And so that's why they're betting on lower rates for the future. And that's why rates have actually dropped back down again. Fourth quarter is probably going to be a great quarter for a lot in the mortgage industry. A lot of the banks will be busy. A lot of the mortgage companies like us will be busy. And I think a lot of the agents will be busy because this will be a great time for people to get in. And as James said, they just haven't seen high rates and they keep hearing they're going to go up. Eventually they will. I don't think it's going to be right away, but it's going to go up and we're going to see 6-7% rates again some point in the future.
It's crazy to watch because we have so many clients and they see the smallest swing in rates. I mean, they see the rate go up a quarter point or a half a point and it completely changes their buying decision. That's just crazy to see that.
It is crazy.
I think that's why rates haven't gone up the way that, people for 2-3 years now have been like, rates are going to go up. They're going to go up. They're going to go up. But every time the rates go up a quarter or half a point, the market rejects it.
The market does reject it. It's a great point, Kyle. And I think the reason that is there's just not a lot of extra income for people to spend. We're even though gas prices have come down, we still pay a lot for gas and electric. We pay for, just doing fun things. We live in Southern California. There's not a lot of extra income. So a lot of financial people that I've talked to are like, these rates can't go higher because no one can afford them, right? They're kind of buying at the max right now. So that's where I think rates will stay within reason. And I think prices will stay within reason. I think they'll continue to go up, but I don't think we'll see 20% gains like we saw, in the heyday. Or maybe even when you called it and we talked about this on the radio a year and a half ago, you better buy in because the market's going to blow up. And it did, and a lot of people missed out on an opportunity that you called, Kyle. But let me ask Sarah real quick. Sarah, since we have you in studio, what are the rates that you've seen as a homeowner yourself? What type of rates have you seen during your time?
I don't think I've seen over 7.
Yeah. See,
I bought a condo in I think it was 2005 when the market was up.
Right.
And then it crashed in about 2008. I was doing escrow at that time.
Oh, that's right. You were an escrow officer.
So everyone was buying. I kind of jumped into it and I went on maternity leave and I came back and the market crashed and I said, I'm out of here. Escrow, it's not a fun job.
That isn't a fun job, huh, Kyle? Should we have you
escrow?
It's a mutual third party. You're the money holder.
Job.
It's a thankless job. And you are, like I said, the third party mutual money holder and everybody's at you.
Yeah.
So,
when things go wrong, 90% of the time people are blaming escrow for it. No fun.
Well, if they can't blame their lender or their agent.
Yeah, they'll blame anybody but themselves.
Isn't that funny? I mean, that's how the generations, as James said, I mean, they're spoiled, as you mentioned. I mean, it's crazy. No one wants to take responsibility for what's going on in their own lives, let alone other stuff. But rates are great and I'm excited.
So one of the other questions I have, Jason, when people are looking at websites like Zillow, Truly, and whatnot, and some of the other websites out there, they a lot of times see these really low rates. Like, here on the show, we talk about rates in the 3s and 4s, but sometimes they're on these other websites and they're seeing stuff in the 2s. What's the deal with these rates, in the low 3s, high 2s?
Good question. It's all about attracting the fish, right? You want to have good bait to attract fish if you're a fisherman. And what a lot of these online mortgage lead companies do, most of them aren't even mortgage companies. They're literally just online lead generators. And then they'll turn around and sell those leads that when people sign on and inquire information, they'll sell those to mortgage companies, even to people like us. And they'll be like, hey, I want that 2%. Okay, great. That's a 3-year adjustable with 50% down and an 800 credit score on this one day. So it may exist, but it's a unique situation. Most people aren't going to be able to get into that. A lot of people are selling a 10-year fix, which is a great loan if you can afford to pay off your mortgage in 10 years. Most of us can't afford that payment on 10-year fix. Now, if you only owe $100,000 and you make good money, hey, 10 years is the way to go. Get rid of that. But most of us purchase on our home, and if we've only purchased in the last 5 or even 10 years, it's hard to go from a 30-year amortization loan down to a 10-year. But that's where a lot of people are quoting because, again, they just want to attract the fish. They're throwing out whatever they can to make that happen.
I love it. And I think that's a big thing. People get so misled when they see those things out there. And then they start looking at homes based on these crazy low rates, not realizing it's adjustable rate. And, you know, the adjustable rate, it's right for the right person, savvy person that's really, you know, been in the game and you know, done this before. But if you're a first time buyer, not a huge fan of the adjustable rate mortgage. That's what kind of got us in the mess this last time. So if you want to connect with an awesome lender, Jason Hall, Team Home Loans, give us a call, shoot us a text, 619-663-SELL, 619-663-7355. Also, if you have any questions for Sarah or Brian, who are on the show earlier, 619-663-7355. Thanks so much for listening. We'll talk to you next Wednesday.
You come real close. Can you blow my whistle, baby? Whistle, baby. Here we go.